go straight for the conflict and rip off the Band-Aid. That'd be number one. And number two is never lose sight of the business's P&L. You could put a lot of smart financial people in the right seats, but as the owner, it's your job to make sure the plane's flying every day. And if you remove yourself from the finances, that's a recipe for disaster.
If you're finding value in what you're watching, consider hitting the subscribe button and turning on the bell notification. Oh, and don't forget to drop a comment. I love hearing your thoughts and ideas. By the way, we have got a ton of other videos waiting for you. And if you are ready to level up your mindset, come hang out with us in our private Facebook group called Mindset for Business Success. Welcome back to the Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'm your host, Shahid Durrani. Today we have with us Christopher Meade, the co-founder of Crossnet, a company based on a simple idea, four-way volleyball, and turn it into a global success. Chris and his team created an entirely new game that quickly grew. It reached key retail deals and aims to make Crossnet an Olympic game. That's incredible. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Chris.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. The intro, quite an intro.
Oh, my honor, my pleasure, brother. It's great to have you. Chris, Crossnet is such a unique idea, and you have turned it into global so quickly. That's what's exciting about it. Can you share some of the biggest hurdles that you faced when you were growing this new sport?
Yeah.
And how did you push through them?
Yeah, you say quick, I say slow. It's been 7 years of doing
Yeah.
grinding, but it took a long time, a lot of perseverance and trying through. There's a lot of days where people didn't want CrossNet. They didn't like it. They were confused what it was. What is this game? And for 2 years, it took us literally going to the beach every single day, trying to convince people to play. And I'd come home, I'd take content from the beach day and I'd upload it to Facebook. We'd run ads on it. And slowly started getting sales. And
awesome.
First year was a dud. Second year was a little bit better. And then we shot from a couple $100,000 to 2.5 million. And then from 2.5 million up to 10 million. So it kept skyrocketing.
Amazing.
Yeah, we bootstrapped the entire thing. And over time, we just started knocking down retail doors. We just rolled out the Target this week, actually. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, love it. Congratulations, bro. I love this. So you mentioned the first year was a dud. What kept you going? What was that? Did you have a specific belief in your ability to make this happen, or was it the actual sport or the feedback that you were getting from people?
Yeah, I think it was the desire to change our lives. None of us wanted to go back to our shitty job.
Love it. Internal belief.
Yeah, nobody wanted to go back to their corporate job that they hated. And this was going to be our one chance to change our lives, and we weren't going to give up on it.
Yeah. Never give up on your dreams. There's a perfect example. And your partner, I believe he was supposed to come on as well last time.
Yeah. So I now have a new business, actually. So it's called the Founders Club. And so that was the partner. So we created this entrepreneurship community. So about 2 years ago, we launched this thing called the Founders Club, which is a private entrepreneur community that has over 250 founders. So it's probably all the listeners of your show. A lot of them are probably in this community. So they're e-commerce experts, different entrepreneurs of all shapes and sizes. Average revenue is about $10 million a year. And they mastermind, they network, they mingle. There's a chapter here in Miami. There's a chapter in Toronto, in New York, in Los Angeles. And events are happening all the time. Yeah, we have an event, a massive event tonight in New York for about 90 people. We had 3 events in Miami the last few weeks, becoming a massive business and kind of my new passion. It's really fun.
Oh, cool. And not to mention the contacts you're making.
Of course, dude. Yeah, it's very, it's inspiring to walk into a room that you help bring together and the people 10 times the amount that you do. And there's some of your favorite brands showing up. But like the key tone is that every entrepreneur is lonely to a degree. We all need connections. We all need help. Always going to be stuff that we struggle with, regardless of how much money you're making or how big your brand is. Entrepreneurship's tough.
Yeah. And that's one of the purposes behind this show too, is to expand that value in the marketplace and bring more awareness out there, build a community around it of people thinking and feeling the same way. And that's what you created, because those guys, their mindset is at a different level, and how they look at money and revenues and success, them coming together. Like you mentioned, loneliness is the one thing to do, is to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Of course. Yeah. It's the powers in the community, right? Like your friends can't relate to your high school friends anymore. Your parents have no idea what you're doing. And sometimes it comes off like you're bragging, but it's just real problems. You just want to vent to somebody, and seeing the power of being able to vent, and not only just complain and vent, but also to reach out. And when you need help and to level up, it's really cool. And it's been awesome to see.
So are you still involved with Crossnet?
Yeah.
Or you're selling it, or you're keeping it? Any juicy news about it?
No news. The juiciest news is that we rolled out to Target to several hundred stores this week. So that's big. Business continues to grow. We have an Australian distributor now. We have warehouses in Canada and Europe. We're sold in 53 countries and 1 million players. The goal is there's no end in sight. It's not a fad. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a sport game that's going to be here for hopefully until I'm not on this planet anymore, and my kids and my grandchildren will get to play it. So that's the goal.
Wow. So if you had to do this entire success over again, God forbid, if you say you just lost everything, you had to start over again, what would be your top 3 things to do initially?
Have the hard conversations sooner. The conversations that just fester in your mind and you just want to have them, but you're too scared to have them, or you don't like conflict. Go straight for the conflict and rip off the Band-Aid. That'd be number 1. And number 2 is never lose sight of the business's P&L. You could put a lot of smart financial people in the right seats, but as the owner, it's your job to make sure the plane's flying every day. And if you remove yourself from the finances, that's a recipe for disaster. So that, and then my other thing would probably be fire quick and be more careful with hiring, because we had a similar normal startup issues when we scaled. So we got to that $10 million mark. We just hired, try to have a 30-person team, right? Like we need to scale, we need to hire. But the reality is we didn't need to do any of that shit. We just need to keep doing what we were doing, and the business was going to continue to grow. And we overinflated the business. We set ourselves back a couple of years by just making too many big time hires and running down our cash. So I go back.
Cash flow.
Now I build this new business. It's keeping my eye on the prize every single day. Yep.
Yeah, those are wonderful recommendations, especially the last one. And this comes in all areas, not just hiring, but sometimes we confuse emotional excitement for intuitive nudges, but we get really excited about someone. For example, we meet and we bring them on, but then without doing the due diligence, it could be costly later on.
Oh, man, I just did the same thing. I'm coming out of a 4-month relationship with a salesperson and hired too quick, didn't do enough diligence, brought him on and set back our financial goals by pretty much 6 months, because I trusted this one person who had a ton of experience to crush it. And should have had some harder conversations quicker. And you always make excuses why you didn't do it sooner. Oh, they need to ramp up. Oh, they need these tools. It's always an excuse. At the end of the day, as the owner and the operator, it's your job to make sure you're hitting your revenue targets and your dreams for the business. And if the person is not doing it, got to rip off the Band-Aid.
Yeah, rip off the Band-Aid. But to elaborate, to go further on that question is, say if you had to start from ground zero again, what would be the top 3 things you would do to get yourself as fast as possible to where you are right now?
I'd have a firm focus still on Facebook ads, like really getting a firm understanding of how to run Facebook ads. We spent so much money just going left to right, spending money on podcasts, billboards, you name it, we spent it.
Yeah.
In reality, there's only one thing that really works the best for most e-commerce brands, is knowing how to run profitable Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Number 2 is spending more time on the details in manufacturing. So lowering our cost of goods, shopping around import brokers and finding cheaper containers, finding cheaper storage. There's a lot of ways to make money, but there's a lot of ways to save money that most people overlook. And we're manufacturing our nets now, probably 200% less than when we started back in 2017.
Wow.
So it's not accepting shit as Bible and really going down to make those products cheaper. It's not like we're reducing quality. We're just finding different suppliers and not getting screwed. But then they're really got to put through the reps. And then number 3 would be to really focus on organic content. That was a mistake early on. Was like I just said, the Facebook stuff was really important. But the quicker that you could build an organic audience, the quicker you could get to profitability and make pure money, right? Like with the Founders Club, we have 250 members. Annual memberships cost around $5,000. I'll probably be increasing memberships in Q2. But yeah, we haven't spent a single dollar on paid ads because it's all been organic.
All organic. So do you do any influencer partnerships?
Yeah.
Or podfluencer? A podfluencer is another term.
We definitely do. It depends on the product, right? If you have an affordable, what I've noticed from influencer marketing is if you have an affordable product to ship and your cogs are cheap, send it all day. Like I was just hanging out with a founder in Miami, $200 million business selling like hoodies. And he sends out the $5 hoodies all day long to thousands of influencers. And the shipping's cheap, right? So he's $10 all in with everything. For me, my cogs are, let's just pretend my cogs are $25. My shipping's another $25.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Bro, I'm $50 in for an influencer just to leave me on red. So
But if the influencer paid for that.
Yeah. If the influencer paid for it, it's fine. But typically the influencer doesn't want to pay, right? Like you're looking to make.
They're going to use it too.
Yeah, hopefully they use it for sure.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't see any influencer taking that step unless they're excited and then paying it as any other business. You're investing in it and then actually playing the game. That's another aspect of that excitement, right? And then, yeah,
definitely. But I do see a lot of younger companies just seeding product out for free without having the influencer pay anything. And that's when it gets really dangerous, right? Like at one point, we had 217 influencers on monthly contracts, and they were sending out every month. They had a certain deck of deliverables, 5 pieces of video content, 5 selfies. They needed to do this. It was an army. We had 3 people just.
Wasn't that good?
It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, but eventually we found out we almost had too much content. And we're spending too much money to run this whole program.
Can there ever be too much content with this ocean, though? That we have online?
Yeah, that's a solid point. I felt like for the amount of money that we were spending on Facebook ads, we weren't able to test all the content. We ended up having there's a time and place, right? The content
makes sense.
It was tough, dude. It ended up becoming like almost a $300,000-$400,000 project just to maintain all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
if
once I had content, I just cut it back and I was like, okay, I have a library of content that can last me years.
Yeah. But are you still doing that, or are they still publishing stuff online?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we still have influencers, but we scaled it down from a crazy effort down just because the unit economics didn't work for Crossnet specifically.
Makes sense.
If you're sub $10 all in, I'd be doing it like crazy.
Yeah. That's a manageable price based on the ROI that you're getting for the rest of the sales. But if you're looking at $40,
and I would even use like a tool like Portless. You know what that is?
No.
I would literally, so it's this company that you manufacture in China, you send it to them. They have warehouses in China, and they'll do all the shipping to your customers directly, airship. So you don't have to
fulfillment.
So you don't have to pay for any tariffs. You don't have to pay the storage cost at your warehouse. You don't have to pay the US fulfillment cost. You don't have to pay storage. So if you have, let's just call it 100 influencers, you send 100 orders to Portless. And then Portless will just ship it directly. So you're cutting out the middleman, you're cutting out the American custom workers and all that stuff. And it goes that much.
That's something that could be done. Yeah, it looks good. I'll take a look at it.
It's cool.
Maybe get the founder on the show.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and if you have any founders, I know you have a network, bring them on the show, man.
Big network.
Yeah, if you bring them on this show, invite them, refer them, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is build that network and also share their voice, because there's people out there that want to hear from people like you. They want the guidance.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. If someone is looking at launching their own brand, what could they do? And this was a very creative idea that you mentioned about going to the beach every day and then not being shy, but just getting actually people playing it and getting their feedback, depending on the product, obviously. But is there any recommendations, suggestions you can give to someone that's looking to launch a product, how they can intensify the demand for it as soon as possible through creativity of some sort?
Call every single person that wants to support you. Anybody who's ever purchased anything on your website. I have a good friend who's used to call 2,000 customers a day. Literally just picked up the phone every day for 12 hours straight, just calling, dialing whoever's going to talk to him and just make the dials. Actually, sorry, it was 2,000 a week, not 2,000 a day. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to do the math.
Yeah, it's crazy. But early days, anybody who orders on your site, ask them, why did they shop? Where did they find out about you? What do you think about the product? Make them feel included, right? If you own a gym, right? You own a gym and the customer says, this machine. You end up putting that machine in, the person feels like they're bought in, right? They're now a loyalist to the brand. Same thing with us, right? Like we're asking our customers, what do you want to see from us? How can we, what other games do you want? What else can I do to make you spend money as a customer? And you'll get a ton of feedback really quickly. So again, it goes back to not avoiding the hard conversations. Some of the stuff you might not want to hear. The box might come down.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. It's how you get there. The hunger thing.
Yeah, and you launched Uber Eats in a few markets as well?
Yeah, brother. I was one of the first salespeople at Uber.
Wow.
Yeah, launched it in Rhode Island, Providence, and a little bit in New York. And yeah, that was my first one of my first big sales jobs. I had like a sales team of a bunch of college kids, and we just hammered the phones all day and
sick
sales. Yeah.
Any big takeaway from that experience that could help someone?
Get used to hearing no.
Get comfortable with no.
Get comfortable and yeah, I think honestly having a few years in sales is just so valuable. In the moment, it sucks. It's a grind. It sucks, right? It's a lot of cold calling.
It's all a mindset game, bro.
All a mindset. And I think those couple of years of doing it was the best thing I ever did for my career. Learning how to get in the face every single day. It strengthened my jaw. And I have no worries about rejection these days.
Yeah, when you go into entrepreneurship, you realize that the more successful you get, the less ego you start getting. It could be the other way around too, depending on the person, obviously. But it's extremely beneficial if you have some sort of a eye on your ego when it comes to these things, because if you let it wild, then it will stop you from so many things, especially from progress. But that's great that you have that policy. Are you working on any new products?
Not right now. It's just working on a very successful launch, hopefully to target. Because if we nail this account, make the customers happy, it opens up a Pandora's box for us. And
no, that's great, man. Chris, this is so amazing. So in Canada, which stores are you selling through?
We're in like Sport Check, Canadian Tire.
Okay.
Yeah, a bunch.
I'll go check it out.
Experts. Yeah, a bunch of stuff up there.
Yeah. But it's more of a summer sport, obviously. It's a lot of snow here, but
of course.
Yeah. So what do you feel being successful in entrepreneurship, being successful in startups? What do you feel would be the next area of product development that could catch on quickly, that you could manufacture in China and sell here? Is there something that is a good idea to keep an eye on?
I wouldn't say I'm the best person to answer that question. I'm not really looking at current trends. I'm more focused on my sporting goods industry and also the Founders Club. I think the most
definitely the reason why
thing is any product that makes you excited to create organic content or make other people pick up their phone and take selfies with it. And as long as the product margins are
that's a good point.
If you have shitty product margins, the business is doomed from the rip.
Yeah, good point. Another excellent point. Look at you, Chris. You're full of all these great suggestions, and thank you so much for your time. Get to your busy day. I hope is productive, is worth your time. Definitely keep in touch. And yeah, once we go live, we'll send you the information if you can help us promote it.
Absolutely, brother. I'd love to.
It was great. Thank you.
I appreciate it.